Welcome to the Not Nerd Show. I'm Nate Heath, and we are here to help you tech better. Here with me, as always, Mr. Dave Baylor.
Well, hello there, sir.
Hello.
I'm spaceshipifying my area here.
Yes.
It's good to see you. And Nate, we've got some stuff to talk about today. There's some things with Apple that have happened. There's some. Don't forget the unofficial banter, which we're going to talk about your hat and your background. And then the just the headlines. We got pro tips, and we have a surprise for the pro tip this week. So look forward to that.
A special guest on the pro tip.
Yeah. So tell me about your hat and your background. It looks very Fortnite-y.
It does.
And I love the Pixel version of Drone Dave.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet. I might actually need a copy of that.
Yeah, I had ChatGPT make a Fortnite version of you. It was pretty cool.
That is
pretty
cool. Well, I see that you're wearing something on your hat and your head, and I'm a little confused. Is that a netback hat? Because it doesn't look like. Oh, there it is. Okay.
It is. It's just an all black with a pretty tight netting on it. I'll have to do some deep dives on levels of netting, but once again, thank you to Hey Grandma.
Oh, there it is. What do we got here? Santa something lube shop.
Santa Paula Lube Shop.
Santa Paula Lube Shop.
She gave me a couple hats, and this I looked up. I had no idea where Santa Paula is.
I'm guessing it's in California.
Good, very good guess. It is a very small town northwest of Los Angeles.
And it means in Spanish, whale's nostril, I believe.
Yes, Santa Paula.
Very cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's a cool. I don't have a lot of automotive themed hats, so it's always good to add another one to the collection.
I could not agree more.
I was thinking about it, and now that I think about it, this might be the 2-year anniversary of when we first went live on YouTube.
Oh, on YouTube.
Or started going live every week. We had done a few before that, but
I wouldn't know because I do not pay attention.
Yes, we are well aware of that.
Maybe we need to put notnerd.com/milestones, and then we just it's lines, just a line of text with the date, a line of text with the date.
Live from Dongletown was the first live, and that was, drum roll please. Okay, it tells me streamed 2 years ago. Oh, April 24th, 2023. So we're just past.
We blew past it by a week.
And fun fact, I did not wear a hat for that first one. That was embarrassing.
Wow. But, how did you survive?
I don't know. I quickly went hats after that.
That was so long ago I had hair.
Yes.
I bet.
Oh, man. The good old days. Yeah, I'm just scrolling back through there.
This is riveting for those listening.
Yeah, they're listening to me. I'll click louder so you can hear me. I was trying to quickly figure out when I started doing the hat backwards to start with for the suspense at the beginning of the show, but that wasn't until quite a bit later.
Let's see, man, all our episodes, I'm on our website, and I have it listed there.
Yeah, I don't know if that will be. I just went to the YouTube channel, but yeah, we've done a lot of episodes, so that means I have worn over 100 different hats.
Wow.
On the podcast.
How deep are we into your collection?
We've scratched the surface.
Would you say we're 25% of the way there?
I honestly 5%? I could not tell you. I do not have a total. I have plans to have some fun with that. It looks like it was maybe about 1 year ago that I started doing the hat spin. I think that was around St. Patrick's Day, because it was a St. Patrick's Day on episode 431, the AirTag tip we didn't even know.
We didn't even know it. Hey, my question is, if you were to put an online blog library, take a picture of each of your hats, put a little description in there, maybe where you got it if you know that information, would you put that on the Not Nerd site, or would you put it on some web blog somewhere?
Well, there's this new thing called social media, and I actually have a plan.
Really? hold on a second. You're not gonna like do individual posts on Instagram or something, because I'm against that. I just want it to be a website, like a library I can go to and
Like
see everything.
like an Instagram profile would be?
Mm.
Well, my thought would be, since I already have videos talking about the 100 hats that I've worn here, but I do want to create some sort of database, so possibly a website in the future, some
Okay.
rainy day. But we should probably talk about some technology. As much as I'd love to start the Trucker Hat Show, the Netback
I am
podcast.
all for it. I will be the everyman. You
Yeah,
talk what you talk about the topic, I'll be the listener.
industry insights and what AutoCap is up
We could
to, and if
uh
there's new
that
models or
mesh
colorways.
density that you were talking about
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah, do some scientific testing, some experimenting
Get the
on
old
mesh density.
spin chill out and see how
Yes,
quickly it
yes.
cools off.
Yes. Well, almost as interesting, before we get to our main topic today, Microsoft did have some announcements
Oh, did
today.
they? Is
Yes,
this a Tuesday or something?
they released some new of their Surface line of computers, which I'm
Oh,
pretty convinced most people don't care about.
I did see an
Um,
article on that. I did not
and
read
some
it.
new announcements about Windows 11 and how it's really going to start being really AI
This
focused. Which,
time we mean it.
yeah, I think as I was reading through the article earlier, I was just thinking, you know what? There's Mac people, Apple people like us that are very passionate about things, and then I think there's people that have to use Windows computers. The number of people, and there's plenty of Apple computer users that do not pay attention, but
Or that maybe they have to, they don't want to.
yes,
But
yes, from
it's funny how you describe that as people who choose Apple or have to use Windows. That's
yeah.
funny.
Well, and my experience working with clients, they're mostly employees of companies, and they're like, "I just don't want it to change anymore when it comes to Windows." They're
Mm.
like, "Don't." But I know producer Todd is very vocal about not wanting Apple to change, and so
Yeah, there's less consequence staying on Apple's platforms for a long time because they're supported and things seem to work. But
yes.
Windows, things stop working pretty quick.
Yeah, it is wild. So yeah, if you're really into Microsoft stuff, you probably already know, and you've pre-ordered your new Surface Go or whatever, and you're excited to be on the insider preview to get new AI that will help you find settings better or something. I mean, come on.
We'll see.
Yes,
I will
yes.
reserve judgment.
Yes. Well, our main topic today, big news.
Mm-hmm.
Big news. A court has ordered in the US, Apple has to allow apps to link to third party payment platforms. So, if you've been around a couple years, you remember we used to talk a lot about Fortnite and the Epic versus Apple lawsuit. And I thought it was just kind of all done with. I thought
Yeah.
Apple had kind of won. I
Ha
think we talked
ha.
about that.
You wish. That's not
Um,
how lawyers work.
No, they keep going. So a judge said that they have to announce it. So Fortnite is coming back to your iPhone.
Yeah, I
And
can't, man, I can't remember the last time I used my phone to play Fortnite. Now, maybe more on my iPad, but like anything that has gone on for years and years and years, there's other solutions. I use in-home Xbox sharing thing or whatever,
oh,
and it projects it to my iPad, and I play it with my controller on my iPad. It's not perfect, but I mean it's good enough. So would it be better to play the game directly on my iPad? Yes, but it's like I found other solutions. So
yeah.
I don't know who's going to be rushing out and go, "Oh, I got to play this on my iPad." They've already found other solutions.
Yeah, yeah. They've been this is hard to believe. It was August of 2020
Yeah, so
that it
5
was
years
booted
ago.
from the app. Yeah, over 5 years it's been off of iOS. I mean, serious Fortnite gamers, they've got a gaming PC
Yeah.
and
And
with
kids
lights
have
and
gotten a cheap Android tablet or something to play it on, or
yeah,
it's people have moved on. But I mean,
yeah,
Epic got their way.
yeah, yeah.
But there's more than that. More than
Mm.
Fortnite, I think. You put an article in here. It keeps opening in the wrong uh, window. So
Mm.
give me a moment here. What if I?
But yes, Apple has approved Spotify app update with external payment links. So that was the first one that I came
Yeah,
across.
there we
That was
go.
on May 2nd. So they had that all queued up and ready to hit publish. So I think Spotify was the biggest. Um,
Yes,
and part of this was Apple had won that they could still charge like 27%
yes.
instead of 30% because just minus the credit card fees.
Mm-hmm.
But the injunction handed down on Wednesday, Judge Yvonne Gonzalez Rogers barred Apple from charging commission or otherwise interfering with developers' ability to direct customers to payment methods outside the App Store. So in the United States, they can't impose any commission or fee on purchases made outside an app, restrict developer style, language, formatting, quantity. Because like we're saying, you could have like a tiny one-word link or
Yeah,
something like
and it's a
that.
link, not a button, which could just
Yes.
be a blob of text, and you have no idea that it's a link.
Yeah. Exclude certain apps or developers from using external links. So that opens it up to everybody. So this is a pretty crazy thing. So a lot of people are excited about the freedom and having apps like Fortnite or for Spotify, they could offer you a better deal because it's not through Apple's system. The contrary opinion, I guess you could say, is the fact that Apple does have a lot invested in making this platform happen.
Yeah,
They've created the App Store. They, have all these apps for you to download. They have free apps that they're not making money off of. They've created the iPhone, which is slightly popular. They've created an ecosystem, security, privacy, all these
all the
things.
APIs that developers tie into, they all
Yeah.
cost money, they all cost resources. But to be devil's advocate there, it might be time that Apple stops taking that. Like that road has been built and paid for 1,000 times.
Yes.
So it's time to kind of lay off a little bit. So I'm not 100% against this ruling. I do believe that Apple, I mean, they invented this and they allowed millions of developers to make billions of dollars. Without them,
Yeah.
this would not have happened. Do they deserve 30% of everything because of that? Mm, maybe 20%,
Yeah. Yeah. 30% is a
maybe
little high.
15, you know.
And some of the other platforms, they charge around 30%. I forget what Epic
They
charges
do.
for
They
stuff
charge
on their
30, but
platform.
it's kind of a collusion type thing where they're not supposed to talk to each other about this, but if it's like the gas prices, like one
Yeah.
guy puts it down to 250, the other guy puts it down to 250, and then the other guy, they could have put it to 250 the whole time, but they wanted to get margin. So Apple puts it at 30, Epic puts it at 30, Microsoft puts it at 30. It's like, well, everybody else is doing it, but it doesn't reflect the true cost
Yes.
of the service.
Yes. And there was, my brain just completely shut off. Just on the
Typical.
security side of it,
Mm.
if any app can put any link to any payment platform,
Yeah.
you don't have that confidence that you do with Apple. Now, I trust Epic, I trust Spotify, but other apps, if they start using this, you lose some of that protection there.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see. Maybe Apple will say, "Hey, you know what? Instead of doing that, we're going to cut it down to 15%." They have done a little bit of negotiating on that stuff, but
But to your point, how easy would it be to use AI right now to say, create me an iOS game called Worm Swipe? And it's a 3 tile swipe thing
ooh,
with worms.
wait, what's it called again? I'm downloading
Yeah.
it.
So I make it, publish it to the store. It's just garbage. It barely works, but I have big fat buttons that says, get 1,000 gems by clicking here. And then I'm stealing credit card information and all this stuff. It's a slippery slope.
Yes, yes. So we will see how that works out. And just today, you found an article. Kindle has done it. I also saw that Patreon has pushed it out. Now, Fortnite isn't available on the App Store yet. I heard it's coming this week, and their developer account in the U.S. was banned. but they're gonna use, like, their Swedish, and Apple, I guess, kind of, off the record said, "Oh, yeah, you can use your Swedish app account or whatever,
Mm,
developer account to put
yeah.
it back there," but
Yeah,
yeah,
well, the reason this one's relevant is because I saw the article and then I turned on my Amazon Kindle app on my iPad or my phone or whatever it was, and I looked, and sure enough, you search for a book in the store and it says buy book. Before it would be like add it to a list. Then you had to go to the
oh, yeah,
website, and then you on using a computer or your iPad through or phone, but through the web browser, and then go through this process. Now you can just like the good old days, click the button, buy the book, and it's I didn't have to leave the app, and that makes Apple really fearful because it's cutting them completely out of the process.
yeah, yeah, and
They're just
Apple
gonna have to,
has
you know,
appealed this, and
you know what
it
they
could
could
change
do? Maybe they should
again.
just charge more for their developer account instead of being
Oh,
$99 or free or what. Maybe it's like it's $5,000
yeah,
and only serious people are going to be making stuff. And it's a yearly fee, you know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
they have ways.
They could do something like that, and especially if you're an app that has over 1,000,000 downloads or some breakdown like that, then
Mhm.
your developer fee goes up because they're having to do more
Yeah.
developing around keeping your app working,
And
so,
maybe that's a fairer way to do it.
yeah,
It's based on the resources they're using.
yes. We've solved the world's problems, that's a wrap. Show is
Well,
series finale of Not Nerd right here, we solved
we do need
everything.
to discuss the matter of payment for my
Ah,
fee. But
yes,
outside of
yes.
that, yes, we're done.
We'll have the lawyers take care of that, and you know what else we'll have the lawyers take care
What's
of?
that?
Dave's Pro Tip of the Week,
I got
brought
this
to you by Nate.
I got this microphone in a different spot, and so I can't see my buttons.
Oh,
So that's why I'm looking down. But yes, this week, pro tip brought to you by someone that you may recognize from such things as this show, Nate Heath.
oh, hey, hey there. I'm glad I could join the show this week
I
to
didn't see
give
you
you
come
a
in.
pro tip.
Trademark.
Trademark. Yes. Well, this one is a very real world thing that I brought up several times on the show. And I'm going to ask you the question, should you just cancel all your subscriptions? And you're going, no.
Oh,
And I'm saying maybe. So I mentioned it, I think, with the Peacock app. I signed up, I think it was Black Friday for 3 months for a buck 99. Got to the end of it, and it's like, you'll be charged $7.99 for your to renew your subscription. I'm like, oh no, I haven't. I used it once. I'm canceling. They're
mm-hmm.
like, hey, we'll give you 3 more months for $1.99. And that's happened, I think, 3 times now,
Oh,
two or
that's
three.
nice.
So I'm still paying the $1.99, but here's the big one. I
Okay.
always brag about my nonprofit subscription to Adobe Creative Cloud that I only pay half price at $30 a month. Well,
Mm-hmm.
guess what? Just stopped happening. And all of a sudden I was billed $60 per month. And I said, ooh wee,
I thought
that's a
those were
lot of
only
money.
good for a year, and then you had to re-up them.
No, I looked, I think it was 2017, so I had about 8 years
That
that
doesn't
I
work
paid
for
the
us.
nonprofit price through a nonprofit that I am on the board of, so
Yeah.
I qualify legally. Um, I
Well,
don't only use it for the nonprofit,
well,
but
talk to me after. I might have a solution for you.
yes, but I found a solution because I went in and I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna cancel, maybe I can sign up again under the nonprofit." I use it a lot, but $60, that's an extra $30 a month I'm paying. So I went in and I was like, "You know what? I'm just gonna cancel this and I'll figure it out." So I go to hit cancel and it's like, "Oh, do you wanna change? Do you wanna do this? Do you want, keep
We're
going?"
gonna
And it's
miss
like,
you.
yes. And then it says, "Hey, would you like 60 days for free?" And I said, "Ooh, 62 months for free. That gives me some time to figure out if I want to keep it or not." But then there was another option. Get 12 months for 29.99.
Mm.
So I extended it for 1 year at the $30 a month. So I got that discount. So that's the pro tip is, and I was kind of looking up online and I found some outdated Reddit threads, but a lot of these subscription services, they want to keep you around instead of having that attrition of people signing up for Peacock, watching one show,
Right.
canceling. So they want to keep you in there as long as possible. So I would advise you, much like we used to say, call up Comcast and,
Say, I'm
you
going to
know,
quit.
yeah, and try to get a deal. And now we just say don't use Comcast.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it's
yeah.
coming. It's getting closer for me at work. Closer and
Ooh, getting rid
closer.
of them. Nice. I just had a client that switched 2 offices from Comcast over to Ziply Fiber. I was
Hmm.
excited for them, but,
I don't want to
um
give away who I'm trying to go to, but it's exactly that company.
yes, yes. Oh, you've shown your cards. But yeah, if you have services, and if it is like the streaming service, one of the things I was looking at earlier today said, "Oh, Disney Plus, try to cancel, they'll give you a deal." I did also just randomly see today, that for Adobe, for new customers, if you're just looking to sign up for Creative Cloud, you can get it for $40 a month, which is $20 off
Or
if you need that.
just use alternative apps.
Yes, which
And
I have all of the alternative apps, but after using Photoshop for 25 years now, you just change is hard.
before you switch to alternative apps, AI is going to be able to do everything. And you're just going to say,
Yeah.
take this picture, erase this guy, make his mustache bigger, turn Dave into pixel art, and it'll just do it.
Yes, yes, we are very close on a lot of that stuff, but, yeah, so if you have any subscriptions and you're like, "Man, I'm paying too much for this," or "It's gotten expensive," or "I don't know if I need this," try canceling it. Maybe you don't need it. Maybe you should just cancel some of your subscriptions, which I do, but if you get a deal that makes it worth it, if the holistic
Oh
cost
boy, I'm not ready for that one.
makes sense, you might be able to get a deal. So
Yeah.
I thought I would share that real life tip, much like you often do. I had one this week.
Well, good. Thank you for that. I really
Yes,
appreciate it.
which brings us to everyone's favorite segment, just the headlines.
And look, we've got some action out in the driveway, baby. The wife is going to
Oh
go meet a
yeah.
friend for lunch or for dinner. But
Late lunch.
I'm okay, help me understand this. I must be missing something. She said that she's going to meet this person at Mod Pizza. Now, if you walk to the end of that sidewalk and look across the road,
You could throw a rock at Mod Pizza.
yeah, so it must be a different Mod
Oh,
Pizza
could be a different
because
Mod Pizza.
that's a waste of gas.
Or maybe she has some other stops to make or something.
Maybe
We're
she's picking up the friend. Maybe she's
welcome to
picking her up.
Judge Dave's wife.
Yeah. So put your vote in. Use the chat, everybody.
Yes.
Get the chat in and tell me whether you think she's going to drive across the street, if she's going to go pick up the friend and go across the street, or if she's going to a completely different location. So,
Yeah, let us know in the comments.
yeah. And
And oh,
where's
uh-oh.
your high
Oh,
quality?
it's under my ballot. There it is.
There it
Make sure you
is.
like, subscribe, ring that bell.
Yes. Oh, show.
Yes,
Well, it looks
very
like
nice.
we've kind of seen everything that there is to see in
Yeah,
the
it
old
says
neighborhood.
my little menu bar thing says it's 81 degrees today. We're getting
Hmm.
some unusually warm May weather
Yeah.
here in the Pacific Northwest.
Yes, we are indeed.
Okay, must be time for just the headlines.
Samsung admits Galaxy devices can leak passwords through clipboard wormhole.
Grand Theft Auto 6 release delayed to May 2026.
Meta now collects more data from Ray-Bans to bolster AI.
Hyundai unleashes Atlas robots in Georgia plant.
Nice. Satellite launches on mission to weigh the world's 1.5 trillion trees.
UnitedHealth has 1,000 AI applications in production.
And finally, OpenAI rolls back update that made ChatGPT too sycophant-y. Is that right?
Close enough. And those are just the headlines.
I
Take
wanted
it.
to say psychopath-y, but there's this. Oh, it's
Sicko.
sycophant.
Sick.
Sycophant-y. Whew.
I'll fix it in post.
Man, I really should have read this before
Yeah,
I did it.
it's just the headlines.
So, there's, speaking of those robot things, I
Yeah.
saw, you know, How to Train Your Dragon, the
Yes.
toothless.
Yes.
Disney or somebody had one of those Boston Dynamic dog robots dressed in a toothless outfit, and it
Oh,
was moving
yeah.
around and walking around, and there was a person petting it or whatever who was dressed in the garb. So maybe we'll see Boston Dynamic robots at a theme park near you.
Yeah. Yeah. At
Be
the
cool.
Hall of Presidents, the animatronic, time for an upgrade on those
They
things. We're
really do need some upgrades. Last time I saw him, it's still the old,
yes.
his head
Needed
falls
a
off.
good breakdance beat behind them. They're popping and locking.
Ah,
Well, let us move on to our takes of the week. Um, TikTok beats Twitch to become the number two most watched streaming platform on the net, and says creators are making 10 million with an M a day.
dang, we're on the wrong thing. So is the number one YouTube, I'm assuming?
Yes, yes, it is. The number one streaming is YouTube, and TikTok has taken over
Number
Twitch at the
two,
number two spot.
10 million a day. Now I know why political administrations are slow to cancel it.
Yes, yes, lots of money, lots of creators out there. I do sometimes go live while I'm DJing at the marathon on TikTok, and
Mm.
I think I have. It told me I've made like $1, but I haven't seen any dollars.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slow down there, pal. You're going to have to deal with the IRS.
Yeah.
Money like that.
Yes, yes,
And
that's
speaking of wayward Chinese companies that are designed to steal all of Americans' data,
yes, yes.
Temu to stop selling goods from China directly to U.S. customers. Womp womp. That was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I had a couple good runs of Temu randomness, but and I will remind people, we are the most nonpartisan tech podcast on the internet.
That is true.
But one of the tariff changes that have happened recently is and we've talked about this before, the de minimis,
Yeah.
I believe they call it, duty, where they basically, China did not have to pay any duties on these. I think it was something under like $500 or something like that.
You said duty. Yeah, there's definitely a threshold. Anything under that, you don't
Yes.
have to pay any tariffs. And so they're like, we can just ship single items directly to customers from China. And
Yeah.
we'll just throw them all in a big container or an airplane, and it'll be great. And it was great until it's no longer great.
It was anything less than $800
Oh, yeah, there it
to
is right
US
there.
customers without having to pay duties or taxes, which is just crazy to think about. The fact that something could be shipped from a factory in China to you, you pay a couple dollars for it and a couple dollars for shipping, and uh, Bob's your uncle.
It's volume, man. They make so many of those. Let's say it's the Chinese finger traps. They make 1 trillion of those things, and you can get them for 1 penny. And
Yeah.
so I want a box of those, or like that cost us like a nickel. And then shipping's probably the biggest expense. Actually, the cardboard box that they put it in is probably the biggest expense.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy.
I am curious on that, as far as once it hits the US, typically it would go through the United States Postal Service,
Mm-hmm.
but it feels like you were never even paying enough to cover like the local postage of it. So there was
I think they
uh
have deals in place or something.
yeah,
They
yeah,
pay a rate. That's since they do such high volume, their rate goes way down.
yes, but this has affected companies like Temu and Shine or Sheen, whatever it is, that did very low cost clothing. Even Amazon had started their own
Yeah.
service that was very similar to compete with Temu. But I think we mentioned it maybe last week that Temu has all or cut way back on their advertising. I mean, they were spending millions and millions and millions of dollars to advertise and just get all this stuff shipping in, and that is changing. Now they
Yeah.
do
I was going to
sometimes
say,
have
I don't think I purchased anything since I got my Nintendo Switch
yeah.
through them.
Yeah, I did the couple random orders. I'm sure I have some stuff on my desk that I got from Temu, but it was, trinkets and stuff. I didn't go your route. Ooh, we got people on the street. They
People
probably
walking
came
by.
from Mod Pizza.
They
They
probably
probably
did. They looked
probably
like they had
walked over
food.
to Mod Pizza.
Hmm.
Um,
I'm getting hungry.
yes. Oh, producer Todd, man, a half an hour in, and still no mention of Dave being on the Mark and Toddcast.
On the what? I've never heard of this
Yes.
program before.
Oh,
Yes, since the cat is out of the bag, we had a whole segment later dedicated to my guest appearance on the Mark and Toddcast that got spoiled just now.
yes.
Um, yeah, this past Sunday, I was on the Mark and Toddcast, and it was an all just the headline show, and they do things a bit differently there. So we actually read some of the articles, and then we give our armchair 2 cent opinions on everything, which are usually not researched and just pulled right out of orifices. So it was a
Yeah.
lot of fun. We had a good time.
Yes, I'm sad I did not get a chance to listen to it yet, but I will be doing that soon.
Yeah,
So
they're going to
thank
rename
you.
it to Dave and Toddcast. So sorry,
Oh,
Mark, you kind of are out.
Mark is out. Yes, well, welcome in, producer Todd, with that breaking news. And our last take of the week. This one isn't quite. Well, I guess the Temu one wasn't real fun, but Reddit users psychologically manipulated by unauthorized AI experiment. This
Oof.
one, if we had a dystopian sounder, this would be the time. We could always just
Hmm.
use the air horn. Um, there it is, the slide whistle. And it does even have a trigger warning at the beginning of it, but there was an unauthorized AI experiment performed by researchers from the University of Zurich to post in highly popular Change My View subreddit Reddit with large language models taking on a variety of personas, including victims and trauma counselors.
Hmm.
But yeah, very
So the AI
scary
pretended to
stuff.
be these authorities, and then people would share all their dark secrets with and stuff.
Well, and they would just try to convince them, of differing opinions and trying to go, just being very deceptive with these different perspectives. So,
Hmm.
yeah, AI is a thing, folks.
It's unavoidable at this point. The cat cannot be put back into the toothpaste tube, if
Yes,
I'm
yes, as we always
remembering that
say.
correctly.
Yes, but yeah, very interesting. Um, unethical behavior. You would think of disclosure that, hey, you're just talking to an AI bot that is trying to just convince you of a certain thing.
Yeah, and
Um,
to take your data and make itself more knowledgeable.
yes, yeah. So, uh,
Zurich, man, those guys were my brothers out there in Switzerland.
yeah,
How far they've
yes.
fallen.
Well, after that one, let us cleanse our palate with our bonus odd take. And I was hoping, hey, Grandma would be here for this one because I'm sure her grandson is probably on it all the time. But
Yeah, I
it
saw
is
this today.
found at the website trains.fyi.
And here it is. I looked around a little bit on this, and I found in the Portland area where we are from,
Yeah.
there were a couple trains. Take a guess what the red ones are.
That would be the Mass Area Transport, better
Yeah,
known as MAX.
right. And there's also an Amtrak that was here. And I've clicked on the Amtrak. It seems to be parked. But you go there, it's traveling 0 miles per hour. The train is currently stopped. It's bearing 315 degrees, which is northwest, obviously. And it's a train. Anyway, you can get all kinds of information about this. And this is one that intrigued me. The previous speeds. So it shows you
Oh,
at 6 p.m.
wow.
it was going 114 kilometers per
Jeez.
hour. And then it slowed down to 112 kilometers. And then, you know, that's pretty fast.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
There is one, that's showing up south of Portland, the current speed 63 miles per hour.
let me see if I
The
can
track
find that one.
speed limit is 79 miles per hour on that one.
Hmm.
Direction southwest.
Oh, I see it
Vehicle
right here.
train. Yes, there it is.
That's a more fun one.
Uh,
63 miles per hour. It's interesting that the log had kilometers and the current speed is
yeah.
miles, but oh well, I'll take what I can get. So yeah, it's just really fun. And the train guy would love this. If he doesn't know about it, he should now.
Yes.
And he can go out and use this tool to stock trains and say, oh, there's going to be one. There's an Amtrak going to be coming here in probably an hour or so, and he can go get in place for his YouTube
Yes.
recordings.
And it does do all of North America, and if you go to the East Coast, you can see, the East Coast has a little more train activity than we do on the West Coast.
So if this were rap, the East Coast would be schooling the West Coast.
Yes, yes. The East Coast, West Coast train battles.
Yep.
That's gonna be our new show.
Yeah, there's lots of trains out there. It's a great way to get around. I like
Yeah.
trains. Who doesn't like trains? You have to be some kind of sick monster not to like trains.
True, true. Yes, we should do a not nerd train trip and do a live show from a train sometime.
I would do it.
Yeah,
Use
let's
my
go.
T-Mobile tethering to make everything work.
Yes, yes, indeed. Well, you know what always
What's
works?
that?
Our picks of the week. And I do have to apologize. I was going to apologize earlier. Starting Sunday, whatever pollen is in the air is the one that my body doesn't like. I
Hmm.
am allergic to life at the moment.
Well, I think it's the juniper or pine trees or whatever. I washed my car by automatic car wash yesterday. And it was nice and clean. I parked next to a big old cedar pine tree looking thing today, and there's, not to be crass, but tree ejaculate all over my car. Not
Yeah,
cool. So
not cool.
yeah, it's going around. And my wife, usually about, I don't know, it's like 8 or 8:30, just starts to just get
Yeah.
totally stuffed and I can't breathe and all that stuff. So it's weird, but I fortunately do not have any known allergies. I am #blessed.
Hashtag blessed is true. Well, back to your pick.
Yeah. Oh, it actually is relevant to what we're talking about.
Yes.
So outside this door here is a little pathway that leads to our backyard. And we've done some work in this pathway to create an extended patio area with some big paver tile things. And it's nice. And we've got a little a propane fire thing out there with some chairs. But it gets really dark back there. And there's a porch light, but it's not great. So we wanted something to improve our experience outside. And so we purchased the Solar Pathway Lights 8-pack LED solar lights, outdoor waterproof glass metal garden lighting for yard path, landscape, lawn, walkway, driveway, 3000 K, which is the color temperature.
Yes.
The picture shows about a 2500 or 2800 K. So it's a little deceiving. I didn't even read the 3000. They are a little daylight colored, not quite so orange as that, which
Gotcha.
I wasn't really expecting, but I don't hate it. When I get indoor lights, I usually try to hit the 3000. It's kind of right in the middle of the blue and the yellow. It's kind of natural. So anyway, we went to Home Depot and we're looking for some of these things. And if you can believe it, they have one of these that's very similar to just one for like $30 for one. Incredibly overpriced. And so for these, you can get an 8-pack for not $49.99, but you click the little coupon for $10
Jeez.
off. Oh, it wants me to log in as I dox my
Yeah.
email address. That's okay. It's my spam email address. So anyway, $39.99, $5 each, a little bit less, $4.99, $9.99. You
Yeah.
can get 8 of these. And how they work is they collect the solar light during the day, charge the battery. They automatically turn on when the light threshold goes low enough, and they stay on until the battery dies or until it starts to get light. Then they turn off again, wash, rinse, repeat. I had them out there for 2 days until I realized that there is an on off switch inside. You take the top off.
Pro
Oh, it
tip,
actually, pro tip, it shows it right here on the picture.
because you're not the only one that's had that. Please turn on the switch before charging.
So yeah, they sit there for 2 days. I'm like, are these things ever going to charge?
Uh,
But then I was like, I bet they came with instructions. No, I just went out there and I'm like, where would the switch be? And the lid comes right off. So I was like,
uh,
so I mean, that's my fault. But they look nice. The window is glass. It's not plastic.
oh, wow.
The frame is metal, not plastic. The only thing that's plastic on the thing is some of the inner parts and the stake that actually goes in the ground. The tube is metal. The housing is metal. So I I don't feel like I could have done any better.
No, those are very cool. We might need some of those for our backyard because that is a nice little touch to have out there.
Yeah, they're cool.
Very cool.
And this is just a little sidestep because where's that? Or what was that? Our doom and gloom button.
Yes.
So anyway, we we didn't need 8. We only really needed 7 to fit our space.
Mm.
And so what I'm going to do is take the top part here, take the long tube off, which you have to assemble it anyway, and I'm going to 3D print a little base that the one
Oh,
light can sit in, and I'm going to set it on our little table out there. And so it's going to match our aesthetics, but it's only going to be about this tall with a little round foot and a little tube that it can sit
nice.
into. So I'm currently working on that project. It's
Wow.
not printing. I mean, I still have to model it, but
Yeah.
yeah. So there you go. That was end of sidestep.
Yes. Well, my pick of the week this week is actually something that my dear wife purchased, and I happened to notice it. It was over next to where she typically sits and has some of her stuff over there. And all I saw was this TECKNET, and I said, "Oh, she's been on Not Picks. She went and picked herself up one of my favorite
Oh,
mice, the TECKNET mice. Um, she might need a mouse for something." Well, this is not a TECKNET mouse. This is a TECKNET water leak detector. The TECKNET water leak detectors for home 120 decibel water sensor alarm leak detector, IP66 waterproof water leak detectors for bathroom, sink, laundry, window, basements, kitchens, 3-pack battery included.
wow. Look at that. And you actually put a link in the notes for me
Yeah,
to do
for
that.
once a year, I'll do that for you. So, the reason why she purchased these, we have one of Isla's good friends from school.
Oh, is she a
Their
bedwetter?
house,
Is she a bedwetter? Oh,
yes. N Good call on that, though. That would wake people up in the middle of the night. But no, this friend, their kitchen, they had a leak, I believe, in their dishwasher, and I
mm.
was talking to the mom the other day, and they are in the process of basically ripping out their entire kitchen
Oh,
and all their flooring on their main floor
yeah.
and doing, all kinds of stuff.
We
So
had
Chelsea thought, "Maybe we should get some water detectors."
we had a friend who had that exact problem. They went away on a vacation or something, and the dishwasher just flooded their place.
Yes. Yeah. So these ones, they're not a smart detector. You can get ones, that would alert you on your phone. These are just a pretty simple one that
They make a
um,
sound.
will make the sound, which hopefully, we're typically not away from our house long enough. But, if somebody was watching the house, they would hear the sound. But yeah,
That's
so a
cool.
little pro tip and pick of the week combo of, hey, think about where you might want some water detectors. We did have fridge leak several years ago that it finally leaked enough that it was pouring out the front. So
Ooh,
then we looked behind, but it was not serious damage. We were very fortunate. But yeah,
well,
water tends to find a way.
it does. We had a fridge leak as well, and I discovered it and actually bought all the stuff to fix it, thanks to YouTube.
Yes, YouTube is good for that. And producer Todd, back to your pick. I saw a big spool of black 3D printing filament at the bins today and wondered
Mmm.
if I should buy it for Dave, but I didn't know if there were different kinds.
There are different kinds, but hey, just get it. You know, they cost about $10 or $15 a roll, and you can spend as way more than that on special kinds. So, hey, I'm assuming at the bins it would have been like $3 or $4. I had thrown you a fiver, whether it worked or not. So, yeah, there you go.
Now you know.
Now
And
you
if
know.
you would like either of our picks, you can always head over to notpicks.com where we put all those picks and you can find cool stuff and stuff to buy and gift ideas and oh yeah, let's get back to that summer. We need to start
Mm-hmm.
promoting that
We got Mike
summer picks
Peterson
list
there
again.
on the chair.
Yes. With some crazy feet. Yeah, AI image generation a year ago when I
I wonder if
put
you
that
could improve
together.
on that. Maybe you could throw it in the algorithm and say, make this more realistic. See what
Yes.
it would do.
Yes, because his legs are not.
Well, and the solar panels are a little
Yes. Yeah, all
iffy.
of it's a little.
I mean, they don't have to be symmetrical, but my guess is they're cheaper to produce if they are.
Yes,
So
yes. But yeah, there's some great stuff on that list that I put together last year of just some good product. Now,
fun.
those don't seem like all summer picks. It seems like some extra stuff
I don't know.
snuck
We've
in there.
got for traveling, we got this
Oh yeah,
dash
the dash
player.
cam.
We've got the battery. We've got a noise machine for
Yeah,
traveling,
that I
the
use
screen
that
door
for
for
traveling.
summer,
The air inflator, I've used that. The
the travel bidet.
yes, yes. That
Who needs to
my
travel
lovely
to use that little gem?
yes, the
Now,
ladder.
the ladder's maybe not. Well, no, it's summer theme. So working in the yard on the house.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to think why some of those things
Yeah.
are there, but, yeah, so always some good picks there and good to remember. Oh, hey, grandma's here. Hi, guys. Late to the party celebrating Eric's 39th with the train guy.
Hey,
Cool
we talked
lights.
about the train guy earlier.
Yes, we did.
You have to
Our,
rewind.
bonus odd take was train related.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, yeah, not picks, and I do thank you guys for continuing to click through those links, especially the Amazon ones. I go and read through the reports, the anonymous reports of what people are buying, and somebody picked up the Logitech MK295 wireless mouse and keyboard combo with silent touch technology, advanced optical tracking, leg free wireless, 90% less noise, graphite.
It's our Amazon pick of the week. I couldn't get the sound in edgewise. So somebody bought this and it wasn't us.
No, no, somebody's buying some keyboard and mice. I do have a feeling I might know it looks very familiar. One of my clients tends to use something similar to this, but it I am very familiar with this product. It is just a good standard wireless
Mm-hmm.
keyboard and mouse.
Logitech is a
Um,
great company for
yes,
this type of stuff.
yes, they do very, very well at this. And $30. It's
Cheap.
got 4.4 stars on 12,702 reviews. Almost 13,000 people have reviewed this, and it says 10,000 plus bought in the past
Those
month.
things are printing money. Although I wonder where they're manufactured.
Mm,
Better
might
get
be
one while they're
printing less
hot.
money. Yes, yes,
Or look down here on the old saved with used like new. So if you notice
yes.
the price creep, you might
Yeah,
find
but 30
alternative.
bucks for a good wireless keyboard and mouse, just a very standard. It's a quiet one, so Dave doesn't like it, not as
No.
clickety clackety mechanical.
Well, and it doesn't have lights on it
Yes,
either. So
well, Can't replace the keycaps, can't get fancy, but I am looking at the picture.
The internet tells me your keyboard has to be light up and clacky in order to be cool.
Oh, yes,
So
this is true. If you're playing Fortnite, you got to have a light up keyboard. Oh, and producer Todd, man, I was just thinking yesterday how amazing the wireless Logitech full-size keyboard I found at the bins is. They're really nice.
So Todd, if you don't know, purchases everything from the bins.
His food,
His
his vehicles.
his toothbrush, anything.
Yeah,
Anything you can, underwear, all in a
yeah.
giant bin that Goodwill couldn't get rid of. So they stuck it in a giant bin for people to dig through.
And he says the keyboard cost him 38
Are
cents.
you kidding me? That's incredible. I got to get back to the bins. Man, I should have went during the wintertime, but people are going to be out in droves during the summer. Shoot.
You know what? Maybe we need to bring Todd on and do a special reprisal of Binsworthy.
Oh.
His podcast he was doing with
How
Mark
many
and the
podcasts does
Unipiper.
that guy do?
He's a podcasting fool.
Portland at the movies. He's got
Yeah.
a Dr. R.I.P. YouTube channel. He does the Mark and Toddcast. When does he have time to work? No wonder he shops at the bins.
Yes, exactly.
Things are starting to come together.
Yes, indeed. Oh, nice. Well, I do thank you for those of you that showed up to the live show on YouTube every Tuesday night, 6:30 on the YouTubes. And I will remind people once again, like and subscribe, ring that bell. I know we have some fans that watch, but I do not see like buttons being smashed to correlate.
I feel like I'm doing all the work. I go to all these social media channels, I log in with my account, and I smash the like button, and it's like 0 likes, and then I'm the only one doing it. So
yes. Producer Todd said, "I am jobless, LOL." Who needs money anyways?
well, if he could just find a way to make money at the things he does,
Yeah.
go into the bins.
The bins, resell that stuff.
The
become
bins. Yeah, get an
bin
eBay
hawk.
channel.
Nice. Well, with that, man, we covered a lot of stuff today. We got you caught up on the technology so you can get out there and tech better.
I'm going to do it. Cue Shia LaBeouf video.